Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to recommend to you guys 5 cool rogue strategies you should try out for May 2021. I think these decks are powerful. They've had some top cut representation, at least most of them, and I think they'd be a lot of fun for you guys to try out. Set 12 meta has been going on for quite some time now, so if you're looking to shift things up for your next webcam or for your next local, whatever you have access to playing, I think this video is going to be pretty good for you. Anyways, guys, with that being said, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you're looking to prep for regionals, webcam events, even your locals, whatever event you want to play in that you want to get better Dragon Ball Super with, check out the Patreon down below. Check out the articles there, see where my head's at competitively, and you can also inquire about some coaching there. That being said, let's get started. Alright, number 1, last month I recommended you guys try out Soul Striker Janemba, and that was actually pretty well timed because that deck actually made some pretty nice tops throughout the later half of set 12 format. Now, I want to recommend you guys try out Soul Striker Red Blue. This is a deck that honestly was not on my radar in any capacity, but it topped just a little bit less than Soul Striker Janemba, but even topping a little bit less, the fact that it showed up at all really surprised me and shocked me. And I think it's a really cool deck to build, right? So normally when you look at Soul Striker, especially back in set 11 closer when it came out, you're looking at pure mono blue, just playing mono blue good stuff. And then you had the Janemba engine, which does fit in Soul Striker very nicely. It just synergizes very well with what the leader wants to do. But besides that, now people are just playing red blue good stuff in Soul Striker, and it does pay a little bit of a homage to that mono blue good stuff style, where you're not really playing for an archetype, you're just looking to play the most value when you're able to. We know some of the key red blue cards are Beerus Divine Obliterator, super combo that untaps blue red energy. Complement that with your leader untapping mono blue energy, which you will want to charge some sort of mono blue energy in the deck, but that's not really a problem because your leader only untaps 2 energy. And playing Soul Striker, you should be going for like a turn 4, turn 5, turn 6 game. So that's what you want to look out for. But the other key red blue cards, you have Cooler Tyrannical Assault, one of the best arrival cards in the game. Play it. Your opponent mills a card, which in this deck, that's not really going to be your main win con, but it is some nice added pressure. If you mill a super combo or a victory strike, or your opponent's really just turboing through their deck, you punish them a little bit for that. Minus 10k to barrier cards. And you have full power Frieza, 100% overdrive. A card like this is so good in a meta like this, and here's why. So boss monsters like this that don't have deflect or barrier, but have a really powerful effect, which Frieza does, you board wipe your opponent's entire board, everything 30k or less, ignoring barrier. And again, they mill 2 cards for each, which in this case actually can be a win con depending on how much your opponent's drawing. So with that in mind, when the meta is a lot of red and black, full power Frieza 100% overdrive is going to be a live card in a lot of matchups. It's a little bit rougher against yellow, green, and blue, where they have valid counterplays that will stop this guy's effect from going off. But against your black and red matchups, there's not much stopping full power Frieza. So really good meta call in that sense. I think the deck's a lot of fun. Want to recommend you guys try it out. And then we have Hatchiac. So this is definitely not a fun pick, at least in my opinion. A lot of people do have fun playing Hatchiac, but I think like at the beginning of set 12, there was a bit of hype surrounding this guy, in the sense that, you know, a lot of decks in this format, they really do go wide. We're in this sort of like mid-rangey aggressive format where control can play. Yes, we see Invoker, we see Blue Baby, those are very good decks, but we definitely see much more mid-range and aggro, and a lot of the decks that are really good in the meta right now, they go wide. Even Dark Broly, which goes incredibly tall with 30ks, still plays a lot of them, right? So Hatchiac can shut down a lot of those strategies. I know a lot of people really like playing Hatchiac in set 9. It definitely is a deck for a player of a very specific play style, namely someone who wants to play a very slow game, very control game, wants to limit what your opponent's able to do, which in a lot of games, that's what control aims to do. In a best 3, you're probably only going to really finish 1 game. That second game is very likely going to go to a draw, and then whoever won game 1 is probably going to win the match. That's just kind of how the nature of the deck is. But in best of 1, I think it's okay, because in the webcam events, I believe you get 40 to 50 minutes for best of 1, depending on which tournament you're playing in. So that's not too bad of a thing. But yeah, I think if you're a player who really likes to slow, grindy control decks, I think Hatchiac is a good meta call because of the leader ability to basically limit what your opponent's able to do with their turn. And then next up, I have to mention Black Mass Sand, another deck that wasn't really on my radar, although I did think this leader was good. I was actually trying to build a black-yellow version of this deck, but I never ended up doing too much with it. It just kind of got a little bit too out of hand. But anyways, I have Jermaine's deck profile here on the channel from earlier this week. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. He got top 4 at the Gamers 1K. About 60 players with a lot of top names, a lot of good Florida players were at that event, and Jermaine took this deck to a top 4 finish, which definitely to me says quite a lot. So this deck plays a lot of the Vegex stuff. It also plays a lot of the Gogeta Xeno stuff. And because your leader mills, you're able to play the Vegex stuff. And because your leader's a mono black sand only card, you're able to play Gogeta Xeno stuff. They just mesh very well in the deck that Jermaine built. So if you want to check it out, I do recommend it. What's also nice is it's not too tough to put together. The secret rare choice is a bit rough, but a budget SCR alternative is always going to be Heroine's Lineage. Although the leader ability to pick up Supreme Kai of Time, Space Time, and Raveler is actually kind of insane. Maybe you can even play the 10-drop Demigod secret rare. Haven't played that card in so long, I forget the name of it, but it's the only Demigod SCR in the game, so you'll know how to find it. But yeah, I think those are pretty good options for this deck. Really cool thing. Check out the profile from earlier this week if you want to see what the list looks like. Next up, I want to recommend Tien. I really just think this is one of the best ways to play green right now. I think Tien just offers you so much. The leader offers you free combo power, free removal, critical, a 20k swinger. It's just so strong in that regard. You get your turn 1 play every single game, searching and Chaozu, so that's a free +1. And then the long-awaited rematch combo is just so good in my opinion. Like, board wiping everything 5 or less is insane in 99% of your matchups. The one matchup that's not the best in is Dark Broly, which unfortunately green does struggle against Dark Broly typically anyway. But with that in mind, you have cards like Big Amore that you can easily side deck or main deck tech if you're playing a best of 1 tournament, where you can kind of deal with that Dark Broly issue right then and there, right? So besides that, if you want to play green toolbox, I think Tien Shinhan is, in my opinion, the best way to play it. I think it's a really strong leader, really solid concept. I hugely want to recommend it to you guys to try out. And then finally, guys, I want to recommend you guys play Napa. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Napa is like the best deck by any means. I'm not all that surprised that it hasn't topped any of the events post Evolution Booster. I also would not have been surprised if it did top like 1 or 2 very seldom showings here. But I do think Napa just does a lot of unique things, and I think it has a very fun play style. And the main thing there is spamming the Cybermen tokens, or Cybermen battle cards from your deck, I should say. And when you're playing the Cybermen, you're just generating free blockers. Yeah, you're not really drawing cards, but generating those free blockers makes Napa so good against the aggro decks. Like, how many decks can say they have a good Reboot Gohan matchup? Honestly, not that many, but Napa is one of those decks that just spams out enough free defense where you're able to go toe-to-toe against Reboot Gohan. And that would be in a best 3 environment because you can only play Reboot Gohan in best of 3, but it still has really good matchups against a lot of the aggressive decks. And then in best of 1, a deck like Napa does lose to certain things, particularly board wipes, like Secret Identity Mass Sand, for instance, right? And that's a lot of cards. That's a card a lot of people would side deck as opposed to main deck. Some people main 1 copy, but even that 1 copy, it's not the most reliable. But a lot of people would side 1 to 2 copies of Secret ID in a best 3. So if you play Napa in a best of 1, your odds of running into those board wipes become far less, which definitely helps the deck a lot. And you're able to play a really unique and powerful boss monster in SS3 Gohan Master Surpass. So you have the burn damage capability, you punish your opponent for playing 20k or less battle cards, which is much like a Koitsukai effect, and this card is much more affordable than Koitsukai is at the moment. Because this card looks for a red Saiyan leader, there just haven't been many opportunities to play this card throughout the game's history. But now with Napa, which I think is a pretty solid red Saiyan leader, I would honestly recommend it to you guys as a pretty fun deck to play. If you like red-green, you play Piccolo Jr., 5 seconds to eradication, that's your main boss monster, and your top end is going to be SS3 Gohan. I think it's a pretty fun deck. But anyways, guys, I do want in the comments below, what are you playing for rogue decks at the end of set 12 meta? What are you looking forward to in set 13? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.